Good afternoon. I hope everyone who's wanting to is having a happy Easter, and our Jewish friends are having a happy Passover holiday. I just wanted to say again that in these messages that I've started making for the idea of the possibility of a campaign for Congress this year, I obviously can't be a professional. This is all ad-libbed. I have to, kind of consider the various matters without much planning. And as far as making the videos, but I just hope that it's understood that it's meant to be as good an effort as I can, and basically to get the message across understandably and reasonably, to be more informative about what these experiences have been through years now of a lot of reporting on behalf of our nation and people. In the next video I'm going to present, there's a little bit of stammering and my wording isn't exactly right, but it is a true concern. The interruption that I described happening is by someone who alleges being from family that I never knew. When I was a little kid, I remember there was a time when my father, Al Hartman, who staged his death back in early 1967 when I was an 11-year-old, and one day when I had never even met them, said, "You're Randy, Mark, and Todd." And I didn't even know who they were. I'd never even met them yet. It was naming cousins from Nebraska. Well, my understanding in the recent years, I've still never met them, except for one time in Lincoln on my way to Colorado months after my father staged his death. Back then I thought he had died. There had been a funeral, I had been a pallbearer. But what I'm experiencing is that others of the former family that I mostly never knew espouse entirely different opinions. And that one difficulty is that is adhered to apparently by the father and others is an attitude against our people that includes burning conspiracy that had happened during World War II and the Holocaust. As a matter of fact, I had seen one time a terrible documentary on Mike Wallace biography TV series back in around 65 or 66 that showed it happening to some otherwise very innocent-looking people. And it was, to me as a child back then, it was a very frightening scene. But I learned through years after that that there were some who started to consider me as being a witness, and with attitudes of, when you saw what we were doing back then. But you see, this kid would have only been for everyone being saved instead. So that is understood by the opposition, and they're very egotistical and arrogant about what they had done to me early in life, and are conspiring, and they like to use the word Marine, indicating that they have influence in the Marine Corps that is very subversive and corrupt, and that includes burning conspiracy, and apparently included a progression that involved the introduction of use of suspender requirements and trucking and shipping and other jobs back some years ago. I don't remember exactly when, but it's probably been about 30 or 40 years ago. Certainly I agree for safety, but there was indication of it being something of a progression that involved conspiring against the people, recalling the particular documentary that showed a man burning people wearing a variety of suspender or hernia suspender belt. And I'm just adamantly opposed to any kind of burning threats, and I just want to make sure that that's understood. Previously, I had been worried against making much videos on YouTube pertaining to serious matters, because I don't know exactly how they're distributed, and I worry what if opposition that is intending to victimize our people would get the videos, and that making a warning would become of a contrary result rather than helping to save people. So because of the matter being said again and pivoting at myself, when they know for sure that I had always opposed their burning threats instead, I've decided to mention the matter and that I am personally always for everyone being saved instead. So the next video will mention the detail, exactly how it occurred again today. Previously I planned that I wouldn't make any messages on this holiday, but I feel like I basically, it's a burden, and I want people to understand that I'm only for saving. Have a good day.